Oh, what's up, my dudes? We got us some Halo Infinite. So we've got an open world Halo game going to be coming out here. I know I never make videos like this, but trying to expand the shit a little bit, you know what I'm saying, Doug? So yeah, just saw this whole reveal like a lot of you guys probably have on the whole Xbox exclusive game reveal thing that they had going on. So just wanted to get in here and talk about this whole thing because I've been a long time Halo player, just like a lot of you guys. You know, I mean, I think everybody's in pretty well agreement that Halo just hasn't really been the same since like Halo 3, right? It's like, what the hell happened to them? You know, when Bungie split off of the team and it went to the whole 343 Industries, I played Halo 4, I played Halo 5, I played Halo ODST, Halo Reach. Like, those games are okay. Especially, I had some fun in the multiplayer of like Halo 5, I think it was, for a minute, but like they just, come on now, you got to admit, they don't capture what Halo 1, 2, and 3 did, the original trilogy. They've had a lot of struggles, a lot of hard times trying to get back to that point, right? It's just they've not been able to really do it, like straight up. So I think it's time for Halo to really try to do something. And I think this whole open world sort of mentality that they have with this new Halo Infinite, there's definitely some possibilities there. So anytime I hear the word infinite, it seems to almost instantly give me PTSD thinking about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, right? Literally the worst Call of Duty ever. So, you know, but the good thing about Halo is it's always kind of been known for that, right? It didn't go from, you know, World War II Call of Duties and Modern Warfares to Infinite. Halo's always been futuristic, so I don't think you have to worry as much about the name. But one really cool thing I noticed in the new gameplay, if you guys haven't seen it, one of the biggest cool things that I wasn't really expecting is the fact that they're kind of going with like more of a old school art style. They're going with a more simplistic art style. They're definitely not like, you know, overdoing the graphics or trying to make it look completely different. It basically looks like Halo 3 or like, you know, right around that kind of era. Even though it's a game that's coming out like a decade plus later. So that was an interesting thing I noticed. It looked like they tried to just somewhat, you know, simplify the overall graphical look of it, which I guess some people might be disappointed with that. I thought it was pretty refreshing. I thought it was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Normally I'm not like that. Normally I'm like, okay, the graphics need to improve, especially if it's on a new console, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I really wasn't thinking that way with this new Halo Infinite. I don't know. It just seemed cool that it was kind of like going back to the roots a little bit graphically and just the way everything looked, and they had brutes in there and the, you know, the old school Covenant and all that. It I don't know, there's like a really cool, I don't know, it hit that old school nostalgia type vibe stride in me, you know, that old school back in the days of playing Halo 1 and 2, right? All the campaign missions of all those games, and it definitely really did hit me in a certain way. And I think that's a smart business move. It really is, because most of the people that know Halo and play Halo and were really into Halo, let's just be honest, they got into it like Halo 1, 2, and then Halo 3, and it was just like, that was the heyday of Halo, like straight up. There really is no question to that in my mind. That was the absolute heyday of it. So it just, to me, seems like that's the smart business move, is to try to kind of, you know, they were on more of a map kind of like this one right here from Halo 3, which I'm playing Halo 4 right now because I just happen to have it on my old school Xbox 360 that I have hooked up right now for convenience purposes. Let's not worry about that action. But yeah, so they were on, you know, more of this kind of typical, there was some campaign missions on the very first Halo game, you know, very, very iconic kind of standard woodland with the river going through it and the bigger rocks around it. You guys know the Halo 1 missions that were kind of like that, and then you had the Halo 3 map like this that kind of went like that, and that's basically what this open world was, right? It was a standard woodland type environment, rocky, like, you know, kind of crazy rocky woodland, some structural stuff going on. So I thought that to be kind of interesting how they were playing on the original sort of Halo theme and vibe and graphics and pretty much everything to it, right? We did get a look at some new things like a grappling hook, just some, you know, few new little tidbits, but nothing that would seem like it would like crazily change the experience or change the game or anything. It's like seemed to me like they were kind of trying to find a nice balance of like, hey, here's like a new Halo, but it's kind of like the old school Halos, but there's a few new things to it. You know, it's kind of like what I felt like they were trying to do with it all. And they did a pretty good job with that. And then they open up the map, and it's like this big open world. You know, you're not in a linear mission at all. You can just pretty much, the way I see it, you can just go wherever you want to. You know, you can, they're definitely trying to do like a whole different kind of Halo experience, which is refreshing. It's time for them to do that, right? It's time for a lot of these games that have these very, very strict, you got to go here and do this exact thing, walk through this tunnel through the entire campaign, and that's what you have to do, right? I feel like a lot of the games, you know, that was okay 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but nowadays in 2020, the more of the linear the experience, I almost feel like it just makes it worse in every way, the more linear you make it, right? I'm not saying every game has to be open world completely, but you know, you need to have some open world, more RPG element, questy kind of vibe to it, not so linear, give you some choice, give you something you can do. So we didn't really see a whole lot of information on like what all that's really going to entail, you know what I'm saying? We don't really know every little detail. I ain't even like looked at anything on Halo for probably, I don't know, 3 years now, 4. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been forever. So I'm sure there's some of you, you know, real hardcore Halo 5 players or whatever that have really been looking into this new Halo and theory crafting and whatever the hell, but you probably know a little more information than I do. But to me, I don't think it's going to be like crazy, crazy open world, you know? I don't think it's going to be like literally Grand Theft Auto Halo or whatever, but it's kind of a step in that direction in a way. So it'll be interesting to see like if there's like this, you know, economy to it, if you loot things, if it's still just like a standard Halo experience or whatever. Obviously they would be stupid not to have the standard Halo multiplayer experience on the standard Halo maps that we all expect, you know, the standard whatever 6v6. They may have like a bigger kind of battle area or whatever. Kind of have like the, you know, they've done that some in the past. They've had some of the bigger battle game modes and shit, but I'm talking like big, you know, they could have a cool 50v50 on a huge map or like a battle royale kind of game mode. That would be kind of fun to play a Halo battle royale. I know everybody kind of throws up in their mouth anytime that word is said now, but I just mean as a on top of the normal Halo game modes, right? I don't mean like have the battle royale as like the biggest mode or like this is the only mode in the multiplayer. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on top of all that you would normally get in a Halo multiplayer, right? That's what I mean when I say that. But now that they're kind of going down the road to more of that bigger open world style map, you could definitely have a legit battle royale with like 100 dudes dropping down, right? That would be a lot of fun, I can't lie. Battle Royale is just one of those, it's a game mode. A lot of people act like Battle Royale is a game. You know, they act like Battle Royale is Fortnite or Battle Royale is PUBG. It's a game mode. It's not a game. Which therefore, it's almost like you can apply that game mode to pretty much every kind of game you have out there, and you're going to have quite the differing experience depending on what kind of game it is, right? So like a Battle Royale in Halo could be completely different than a Battle Royale in Call of Duty. or, whatever, right? You don't want to just look at it like, oh, I hate Battle Royale in Fortnite, so any Battle Royale in any other game is just going to suck. You need to be real careful when you say that, because that's not always the case. It's a game mode. It's just like having, team deathmatch and all these different first-person shooters, or free-for-all, or, search and destroy, or what, capture the flag, or what the fuck ever kind of game mode you can imagine. That's all Battle Royale is. It's just a different multiplayer game mode, typically inside of a first-person shooter, even though they have tried to kind of expand it even more than that. But it kind of funnels the excitement. It makes it a lot more fun when you only have one life in one game. It's like you got to kind of you build that experience. You kind of go through, you loot weapons, you find weapons. It's a whole thing that Battle Royale has created that is just personally a lot more fun to me than most of these like standard team deathmatch free for all. I mean, it would be one thing if like Call of Duty and some of these games still made their maps and all the experiences like in Team Deathmatch and Free-For-All like it used to be back in the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 and all that. It'd be one thing if it was still like that, but it's not. So then you kind of start drifting into like the Battle Royale of Call of Duty and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's kind of beside the point. But either way, just thought it was kind of interesting. This is going to be like one of those Halos. I feel like if you haven't played one in a while, you might have played like Halo 3. I mean, most people played Halo 3. If you played Halo 1, you played Halo 2. And just about everybody that played Halo 2 played Halo 3. But then it kind of gets to that point where it's like a lot of people didn't really play Halo Reach or like Halo ODST. And then Halo 4 kind of came around. I'm sure a few people played that. But then I don't know. They just kind of been lost in the abyss for a while, I feel like, where it just, I don't know. It's like they're just continuing to make these Halo games that are just not really as good as the first three. So it's almost like they have to innovate something at this point. They got to do something. They've got to do some sort of an open world or a battle royale or a something. But I feel like they can still kind of go back to their roots and keep the core essence of what Halo really was back in the day and the graphical look of it and, just the standard combat of the game, right? Not trying to change that up too much. Yeah, there's a grappling hook, but it ain't crazy. It ain't like you're flying around all over the place. And what else? There was something else new that I saw in that trailer. I'm trying to kind of remember what it was exactly in my head, right off the top of my head. But yeah, there's like just a couple little, knick-knack type cool little gameplay elements and stuff that were in there. It's cool to, like I said, to see the brutes, like old school style brutes, and then they had the whole part of the trailer that was like a hologram of a brute, and then he like comes out of the hologram, and it's a pretty cool little way that they kind of put that all together. So is it going to be kind of RPG based? Is it going to be, I don't know. It just, the doors kind of start to swing wide open when you start getting out of that very linear, standard Halo multiplayer experience. It can definitely, you just don't know what you're going to get, at a certain point. But you definitely don't want it to turn into like Destiny. That's for sure. And I think we all know why you wouldn't want that. Destiny, to me, just never really lived up to what that was supposed to be. That was like supposed to be like a Halo RPG, right? A Halo MMORPG, actually. And it didn't really accomplish any of that. It was just not that at all. It was kind of more like an open world Halo, kind of sort of, but it wasn't really like Halo. You know what I mean? It's just hard to beat that standard Halo formula in that you already know the universe, you know the Covenant, you know the Brutes, you know Master Chief, you know the weapons, you know what I mean? It's just such a nostalgic like thing all the way around that it's almost like you can apply this to anything. This kind of formula, exactly, this kind of game, like the Halo 1, 2, and 3 style games, you can almost apply that to any game mode, any kind of campaign mode you can imagine. You can almost apply that to any of that, and it's going to be pretty solid. Like, because it's just built such a history and such a legacy. So we'll have to wait and see more information on it. It's coming at the end of 2020, holiday 2020 is what they said. So it'll be coming out pretty soon, and you can actually play Halo with the new Xbox Game Pass, whatever the hell that is. I think it's like a monthly subscription where you can play all of their exclusive titles and stuff like that. So you might actually be able to hop in there and play this game for pretty cheap if you get in there on that Xbox Game Pass at the beginning. So if you do want to try, Halo Infinite at that point. But yeah, I just thought it was definitely worthy of coming in here and making a video because it's got some potential. It would shock me if it didn't have a Battle Royale mode. I'm just going to say that. It would definitely shock me if it didn't have that at this current point. I would almost even go as far as to say they would be stupid not to have a Battle Royale game mode. I'm telling you, it's the gold mine right now, dog. People think Battle Royale is like done and over, or it's like some shitty thing. Dog, how long have we had Battle Royales? Like, how long? I know PUBG and Fortnite, those all kind of kicked it off a little bit. Well, those kind of brought it to the main stage. I obviously know there's a few games before that were kind of doing it, but those are the games that really brought it to the main stage. And even the newest Call of Duty coming out with Warzone, that's its biggest. That new Call of Duty wouldn't even be talked about if it wasn't for Warzone right now. So you're really going to sit here and tell me that Battle Royales are dead, or everybody hates Battle Royales now, or these game companies shouldn't be doing Battle Royales? Are you kidding me, bro? Warzone is like the biggest thing ever right now. In a Call of Duty that, typically Call of Duties that have been out this long, that Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one, right? It's been out for, how long has it been out? 7-8 months? Normally, a standard Call of Duty would be like completely thrown to the wayside, completely forgotten about in that amount of time. But yet, here we are, like, still playing this newer Modern Warfare because of Warzone specifically. And it would be the same way with the Halo. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way. And that's the thing about it. It's not like you're changing your whole game just to make it a Battle Royale game. You can just add that on top of that already amazing gaming experience. They can still have their new open world campaign stuff. They can still have the standard multiplayer maps like this right here that we all come to know and love and expect. All the same kind of weapons, all the same kind of whatever you want to imagine. You know what I mean? And then you just have that Battle Royale multiplayer game mode sprinkled on top of that, perfect cake that you already have, and it's just going to make it better. That's all it's going to do. It was kind of the cool thing to like hate on Battle Royales there for a minute. That was kind of like the cool thing to do. But I just think it's any business, especially first-person shooters right now, you're stupid not to have a Battle Royale game mode, especially if it's more of an open, bigger map kind of game. You can definitely do that for sure. Like, no question about it, dude. And I just think just that title of Halo Battle Royale would send people in a frenzy. Like, and if it was actually good, it don't even have to be good, and it's going to have a lot of people that are going to check it out just for that. You're going to sell twice as many copies having a Battle Royale in the game versus not. Just tell you that right now, like straight up. But other than that, like, it's like, dog, like, imagine if it was actually really good and competitive, and there was like things there was like ways you could, ways you could progress in it and get really cool, like maybe cosmetic unlocks or something like that by doing certain things or winning so many games, or like things that are keeping you playing it, right? You definitely don't want anything that you can unlock from that's like kind of like a pay-to-win type deal, but you could definitely have a ton of different cosmetic stuff that you could unlock from it, and then you could carry that over to the standard multiplayer of the Halo. You could have a ton of like whatever, gun camos, different outfits, suits, all the kind of crap they've been doing like that, just to kind of give you a little something more to do in the Battle Royale. They could do something really cool where it could be like a bigger Battle Royale, so it's like squads of like 8 instead of 4, and it's like on a gigantic map. You could have like a super battle royale type mode in there, something really cool where you've got, like you got like all these like mini armies in a battle royale simultaneously. I mean, you could do a lot of cool shit with Halo, because Halo really is more of that, you have so much health in the game, and it's not that instant death Call of Duty style, so you can get away with doing a lot more cool things like that in a Halo, like a bigger, more like Halo Wars, but you're on the ground. It's not an RTS kind of deal, right? You can do a lot of cool stuff like that. And that could fit right into that Battle Royale game mode if they do it right. You know what I'm saying? So definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think about all these little ideas and stuff. I think it's just really cool. Like, we need a Halo. We need a good Halo game, man. It's a staple. Every time they come out with a new, Xbox console, it's a staple. The last 2 we've had, I would just say, have been okay. They weren't terrible. I thought, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Halo Reach. I know there's some Halo Reach fanboys out there, but, and I know there's some fans of Halo 4 and 5. And I played, like, listen, you might think I've never even played Halo 4 and 5. I played Halo 4 and 5, dog. I got them when they first came out, played through some of the campaign of them, played quite a bit more of the multiplayer than I did the campaign of them. But, and like I say, I had, some fun in the Halo 5 multiplayer. It was pretty cool. Kind of gave me some old school vibes. But I think what has killed my interest in some of these Halos recently, and like making me want to come back for more and more, that it's really, a lot of it for me personally has revolved around map design. It's like there'll be so many small, tight little baby corridor style maps, and it's just like you end up playing on the same map over and over and over in the standard like free-for-all lobbies or whatever. It's like you end up just playing in the same maps over and over and over, because there'll only be like 3 or 4 of the maps in the entire game that are actually dedicated to a certain game mode. Even though there might be like whatever 8, 9, 10 maps in the whole game, there's only so many that are dedicated to each individual game mode. So it can get pretty annoying really quick if you're playing like a specific game mode that is dedicated to smaller maps or dedicated to bigger maps. They've got to have at least 3 times as many maps as they have been having in these recent Call of Duties and Halos. It's the same issue in Call of Duty too. There's just not enough maps, and there's not enough map variation. And I feel like that's what a battle royale really does really good for these games, is it gives you that other little thing to do. You know what I mean? It kind of you get really tired of that standard multiplayer in the same map over and over and over again. So then you go play the Battle Royale, and it's this really big map, and it feels like 3 maps in one map, and it's this whole other thing, right? So, but I think these games, the standard multiplayer Call of Duty, Team Deathmatch, Free-for-all, the standard, Slayer and Free-for-all and Halo would be exponentially more replayability, more fun factor, give you a lot more reason to want to come back and play it, not burn you out so quick if they just had 3 times as many maps as what normally comes in these games. Like, I think it would be so much better. And don't sit here and act like they can't do that. That's bullshit. Maps do not take that long to make. Like, good Lord, think about how many community maps have been made in these Halo games with the built-in Forge editor. They can make so many more maps than it's almost like they do that on purpose. It's really weird. It's almost like they're trying to do some weird balancing, here's the 8 maps that you're allowed to play on in the actual official, I don't know, it's such a weird thing. They need more maps in these games. And more varied maps, varied biomes. I want to go to deserts. I want to go to ice maps. I want to go to all the different kind of biome, jungle maps, and complete structural maps, and beach maps, and all that different kind of stuff, I just really think that's a important thing, having enough like outdoor maps that really, you have different kinds of gameplay, more open gameplay, then you have more like corridor shotgun gameplay on some maps. You got closer, far distance, but then that leads you into the whole, like, they would have to have bullet drop if there's a battle royale. It just gets into a whole nother thing, you know. Call of Duty's done a decent job with that, with like keeping their standard multiplayer normal, but then still giving you the ability to, you know, play battle royale with bullet drop and all that. But either way, Halo Infinite, dogs. Let's hope it's something good. It looks promising. Looks like some cool ass old school like Halo 3 vibes for sure. So we'll see if it can live up to that, right? But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.